my grandma just taught me something about investing that I think you might find interesting. So a couple weeks ago, I made a video and I was talking about the Greek myth of Sisyphus. You've probably heard of it before, right? It's the one where he's pushing the boulder uphill, and he always has to push the boulder uphill because if he ever stops, the boulder will roll back and crush him. And I said, this is a really cool visual of what investing is like, because you're either growing wealth, you're making your money work for you, making more money, or you're losing wealth to inflation, to spending, to like all the things that pull your money away, right? And so I made the video, I wrote an email based on it, sent it out, and my grandma actually wrote me an email back, and she said, you know, this is really cool and it's a really interesting thing to see, but actually for me and your grandpa right now, it's a little bit different. It's not really like a boulder that we're pushing uphill anymore. Because we've let it go and it's worked for us, it's actually more like a snowball rolling downhill, picking up steam on its own. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what this is about, and I didn't even think to mention it before. So basically what I was talking about is Sisyphus. So let's say we have a little stick figure Sisyphus, right? And he's got a grimace, he got some hair, right? And he is, got this big boulder, and he's trying to push it up the hill, okay? And there's your hill. And if he ever stops pushing the boulder up the hill, then the boulder is gonna roll back and crush him, right? And so that's what I was talking about. Now, there's actually a couple things that are really important if you wanna make it past this point and to the point where later on, right, it's like a snowball, and I'll do my snowball in blue, this is cool. But it's like a snowball, right? Rolling down the hill and getting bigger as it goes. So, Sisyphus is pushing his boulder. So, there's three things. Okay, whatever, you get the idea. There's three things that you need to think about. So, when you're first starting investing, right, you have to have the power, the engine, the drive, and the thing that actually pushes the boulder up the hill, right? You have to have the piece that is Sisyphus. And so what that is, usually it feels small, but like for me, when I first started, I had $50 every 2 weeks for a part-time job that I was working during college that I could invest. And that is the engine, that is the power that pushes the boulder up the hill. Now it felt small, right? It's $50, who cares? But I was like, no, this is what I'm doing. And so I put the $50 in, then I waited 2 weeks, then I put the $50 in, then I waited, then I put the $50 in. And so it was like, right, every time we push the boulder a little bit further up the hill, okay? And all of these are all $50, right? So every time you get paid the $50, you push it up and it moves the boulder up the hill, okay? But that's where like you're either building wealth or it's shrinking, right? I was building wealth $50 at a time. And that's the power. But what's cool is that once you do that, if you buy a stock that does something in the stock market, it's called getting paid a dividend. But what's cool is that some companies will pay you just for being owners. And so you get to earn what's called passive income from dividends. And what's cool is that if you start earning passive income, then the hill evens out a little bit, okay? And so it's almost like the boulder, you're still pushing it, right? You're still putting in the $50, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so you're still putting in the $50, but now, every once in a while, the company is going to pay you a dividend. And it's like the boulder is moving itself, okay? So it's like, now you're still pushing the boulder, okay? That's the $50. But also, you have a dividend. And the dividend is like a line, boom, boom, dividend. That moves the boulder as well. Now what's cool is dividends, if you give it enough time, can actually get you to where it becomes a snowball. But what's really powerful and what really excites me is like that is cool, but that takes a long time, right? Like my grandma was talking about this is a lot of what they've done is like they've got dividends working for them, and that's awesome, right? For a lot of people that's enough, and you give it enough time and you're consistent with it, right? You do the $50, you use the engine, you use the power, you let the passive income work for you. Eventually that passive income will be enough that it'll start growing itself. That's really cool. But what's really powerful, and let me just draw this. What's really powerful is when you get to add what I sometimes call rocket fuel, right? Boom, rocket fuel. Now, rocket fuel isn't about getting rich quick, okay? It's not about overnight success, because that's not what investing is actually about. Investing is about building wealth over time so that you can have some financial security, some stability, so your money's working for you instead of you always working for your money, right? But it's interesting because in the stock market, there's this thing you can do called covered calls. And covered calls are really cool because basically you make a promise and you get paid to make that promise, whether you have to do anything with it or not. Now, you have to go into some detail and actually learn about it to be able to do it. But it's like adding rocket fuel, because now you've got the $50. Boom, 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 okay? Boom, boom, boom. This is all your $50, okay? You're still putting in the $50, and that's really cool. But now you've got dividends, and I know I'm mixing colors here, but you've also got covered calls, and these are called options premiums. Covered calls. And what's cool is now you have, check this out. Oh, I should have color coded this better. In fact, you know what? I will really quick. Check this out. Let me do this, because this will make this even cooler. So dividends, I'm not actually changing anything here. I just want to show this. Dividends, we'll put in green, and then dividends down here we'll put in green. Dividends, okay? So now what's cool is you've got a snowball, because you have 3 streams of income from one investment. You've got the money that you're putting in, which is actually growing the stock, right? So you think about, you invest, the idea is buy low, sell high. That's still happening no matter what you do, right? You're hopefully investing in a good company, and the company is going to make money over time by going out and selling cars or phones or whatever they want to sell. And so the company is going to become more valuable, so your stock is going to grow, okay? So the $50 you put in always becomes more valuable. So you're making money there. Then you're making money on dividends. You're making passive income because you're an owner of the company, right? Boom, so that's income stream number 2. Then you have covered calls, which is income stream number 3, and that is like the rocket fuel. It's what builds your investment. And what's cool is you do this, and it can become very, I don't want to say like it's not overnight, but this can become very quickly, where you don't have to like wait years and years and years and years for this to necessarily happen. You can actually have your money start growing for you pretty quickly. Yeah, it's really cool actually. I think about, like, I started with $50, right? And it was like I literally did exactly this. Okay, when I started, it was $50 every paycheck. Put in the $50, put in the $50, put in the $50. Okay, so I'm pushing the boulder up the hill. Then I started getting paid dividends, because I bought a company where they pay dividends. It was like, cool. So now I'm making passive income, and that account is starting to grow because I reinvest the dividends. So it's working for me. Then I got to a point, and to be able to sell covered calls, you have to have 100 shares of a single stock. Okay, so once I got to 100 shares, I said, perfect, now I'm gonna start selling covered calls, and I started earning that 3rd stream of income. And it's cool because, give it a little bit of time, doing that 3 streams of income, all being reinvested and helping you grow, it's really cool, because at this point, like for quite a while, I've been making a lot more than it was basically $100 a month that I could put in, right? So I've been making quite a bit more than I could originally put in. What's really cool, and this isn't like all the time the case yet, because 1, I invest a lot, because I believe in investing, and for 2, because with covered calls you're gonna have very different amounts of returns. Like the rocket fuel, it's not like dividends, where it's really usually pretty consistent. It's not like putting the same amount of money in every time. Like it's a little different, but and I just say that because the amount of money that I make from that every month changes. But what's cool is, like, a lot of months this year, I think it's been, what are we at? It's month 8 right now. I think I had 4 or 5 months, so half, or maybe a little more than half, where so far the amount of money that I've invested because of my covered calls and because of my dividends have been more than the amount of money that I'm putting in. So the snowball, the investments are actually growing themselves faster than my efforts to push them up the hill are growing them, which is so cool. Okay, so I know some of this is a little over your head. I've been kind of jumping around ideas, but like this is what you can do. You can get so that you're literally working 3 streams of income and building stuff, and you don't have to wait until you're a grandparent to do it, which is awesome. So yeah, this is so cool. But this right here, the snowball idea, is literally why I created something called the First Stock Challenge, where I go in and I teach you, like, how do you actually get your first stock during the challenge so you can move toward this momentum. So if you're sitting here looking at this video and going, okay, 3 streams of income and the investments can eventually work to grow for themselves, like, that is super cool, I want that in my life, then click the link down below the video or in my profile, and you can figure out how to register for the First Stock Challenge from there, where you're gonna learn how to actually do this. But this is the vision, right? It's like you start being the one where it's like, I have to put the money in, I have to do it because either my account is growing or I'm losing wealth, right? And like the boulder can roll back down and crush you. Like it's kind of a real thing. But eventually, then you get to be able to add dividends. Then you get to have covered calls, and now you've got 3 streams of income working for you, growing your investments. And instead of being a boulder that you're pushing up the hill, now it's a snowball that's walking down the hill, and you get to not a broom, but you get to like, ooh, you're all smiley. But you get to sit and you get to watch, and you're still pushing it a little bit, right? You still put in the $50. But what's cool is like where I'm at right now, my account would keep growing whether I continued investing in it or not, right? Like I don't actually have to put in the $50 anymore, and that snowball effect will take effect and it'll still keep growing. And like, to be totally candid, like I'm not putting in $50 anymore because $50 is where I started and I've grown since then, right? But this is the idea. It's like this is what you can build, and you can build an investment account that works for you so that your money's working for you instead of you always working for your money. So anyway, if it sounds interesting, then go click and register for the first stock challenge and get your free seat. It's 3 days, 90 minutes a day, so pretty quick. You can actually figure out how to get into your first stock. We're going to use AI and help you guys understand it, make sure you actually know what you're doing, so I'm not just being like, hey, go buy XYZ stock, which I actually shouldn't say because XYZ is a real company now. It didn't used to be. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. But go register for the first stock challenge. I'll see you there, and we can start building towards building your first snowball.